been testing out a lot of different glass on my Twitch stream lately. I have a ton of different pieces. You can see a lot of stuff behind me. I mean, it's a green screen, I swear. But there's a lot of glass behind me. And lately, I've been just trying to compare some of the pieces. It's easy to just grab a piece off the shelf and get high with it. But if I want to find out, you know, does this one hit harder than this one? I can do that because you know what? I got a lot of options for things to compare. Well, recently I found like a new champion. I don't know how to explain it, but this piece hits so hard. I'm talking about the orb glass here. I don't have any codes for it. I'll put a link in my Twitch and my Discord. You could type !orb. But after doing the straight tubes versus beaker, I wanted to test out the champion beaker versus what I believe to be a piece that can hit just as hard. And I found out it hits even harder. So we got a nice little globe there, a nice little orb with a flat bottom, and it's got a matrix perk in there. I got a little plug here. I can help get some airflow if I need to clear it. And I was using this thing with a hose, so it kind of hits like a hookah, you know? You put your hose on there, you can set it on the desk, set it on the table, and then you put your bowl on top. And I've been using the ball vape. If you've seen the Terp Hammer, that's what I was doing most of the testing with. And this thing really gives you like a hookah-like experience. I think if you really want to get that hookah experience, you want the wired ball vape, maybe like a freight train or a flower pot, because you can get some nice hits on this, and you can get a lot of hits if you use like the XL bowl. I have a few different bowls, but I put the XL on it not too long ago, and I was getting like a nice sesh going with this. Some of these hits, it's just like one hit, stir it, take another hit, and it's done. But sometimes you don't want to go for the monster hit. Sometimes you want to do sippers, which this is nice for, but it's also nice for the monster rips. You see, when you fill this up with water, there's not a lot of airspace in there. There's just a tiny little bit left over. If you put more water in there, there's less airspace, obviously, but if you put too much, you'll start to just drink it straight through like a straw. But I put a decent amount of water in there, and this thing absolutely chugs. Like, it pulls an insane amount of vapor. The airflow is like perfect on this one. If you want to see the actual test, I can't really show it here, so there's a link in the link tree. It's linktree/Cewpins. I'll put the link in the description or the pinned comment, but check out the 420 videos that I've been posting over there. But I first tested out different sizes for beakers. I found the small one hit a little bit harder than the larger one, but it was a little bit harsher. I didn't have as much time for the vapor to cool down. And you experience similar things if you're smoking. Sometimes the smaller piece, you get more of it, but it might be a little bit too much to handle. And on this, I was taking some of the biggest rips, but they were just like a little bit harsher than normal, or a little bit harder to do than like a regular beaker hit that I've done a million times, you know? That's part of it too, is just the familiarity. I think I'm gonna try to use this thing more because it genuinely gives me bigger hits. It's just like, I didn't realize I didn't need the hits to be that big, so. But that's all part of it. That's all about pushing the high to the next level. I'm all about taking big hits. I think the bigger the hit, the better in a lot of cases. And that was one of my issues with flower vaping before, is most of the things you just can't get a big hit. Well, now I'm getting monster hits, and I'm so surprised that I can actually up the hit. Like the beaker hits I was getting, I thought were crazy, and then I plug the hose into this and I get a hit that's even bigger, and I'm like, oh God, I could probably go larger if I could handle it. So we tested out straight tubes and beakers. I tested out different size beakers. I'm doing most of these with ball vaping, but I think I'm gonna do some tests with dab pieces soon. I know that smaller dab pieces are better. If you're doing nice low temp dabs, you don't want to have a lot of airspace for that vapor to travel. Similar to how this works, but like, there is a point. Vapor isn't super cool, you know, especially if you're getting a ton of it. Also, I've seen it floating around, and I might have to get it, but there's a cube version of this. Like, this is cool because it's a nice little orb. I can look into my crystal ball and tell the future. But like a cube version of it seems pretty fun, so I might have to get one of those. So, fun little piece to discover. It wasn't too expensive. It was something that a lot of people mentioned in my Twitch stream. So, tune into my Twitch if you want to get high with me. You could tell me about some pieces. What other pieces should I test? Leave me a comment here. Let me know. I do a smoke sesh every night at 9 p.m. Eastern live on Twitch. Link your Amazon Prime and give me that Jeff Bezos weed money. And if you haven't seen my updated tier list for the best ways to get high, check out this video right here. I might have to make another one next year and put the dang old orb on there because the ball vape on the orb is nutty.